Hi everybody, I'm going to talk about comfort today. Another tricky subject, very subjective, same as the last one really. So as we get older, comfort becomes quite a big thing, and it's something I'm often asked about with regards to the VFR 1200. But I'm going to look at it from a wider angle, if I may. So, a couple of chairs there in my garage, tatty old wooden one, and a bit of a tatty office chair. And if you were to ask anybody which would be the most comfortable, you'd probably say the office chair. And indeed, when I pop in just with a cup of tea to have a look at the bike, as we all do, it'll be that office chair that I'll take, because it is a more comfortable chair. However, move that chair into the elements outside when it's raining or there's a wind blowing, and that won't be a comfy chair, will it? You'd probably want to opt for this wooden one because it's in the garage, it's dry, it's warm, comfortable. And that analogy brings me to the subject of, is the VFR 1200 comfortable? Well, for what it's designed to do, fast sports touring, yes, it is comfortable. Is it comfortable for commuting? Well, that might depend on what you class as comfort and what sort of your pain threshold is. The question is, though, of course, what do we mean when we say, is it comfortable? Well, let's take my previous bike, the lovely Generation 1 Phaser 1000. You sat on it, lovely squashy seat, highish bars, pegs not too high. You immediately felt comfortable. And in most situations, that bike was very, very comfortable, in my opinion. But of course, when I stretched it to European touring, came out of its comfort zone then, high-speed touring, fair bit of wind blast, not that secure feeling compared to the VFR. That's when it wasn't as comfortable. And again, most times it was more comfortable than my main bike before that one, my lovely ZX9 Ninja. However, on the likes of the Nürburgring or any track days, the Ninja was far more comfortable because it was in its comfort zone a little bit more. So we really have to go back to my video on don't buy a fork if you want to eat soup or something like that. What we want the bike to do, how do we want it to perform, how do we want it to feel? Well, high speed sports touring, panniers on, top box on, provided it stays on. This thing is superbly comfortable because you're mentally comfortable as well as physically comfortable. If I've got to veer off through a city, say for instance if there's a diversion, it becomes less comfortable. But it's not designed to do that. It will do it, of course it will do it. All bikes will do everything really. But people will ask me specifically, what is this bike like compared to competitors? And they'll pull up the likes of the BMW RT, the FGR. Obviously the Pan-European is more suited to full touring than the VFR, but they're the type of bikes that crop up in conversation. And yes, all-round comfort, it can't match those because the bars are lower, you're a bit wristy, the seat's a bit firmer, the fairing, well, we know the fairing, at least the screen is very poor, but the fairing itself, yeah, that's pretty good, and I'm going to come on to that now. So this lovely satin position you get with the VFR, tucked behind that tank panel and the fairing, that adds a lot to its comfort, it really does. When I jump on a couple of my mates' bikes, let's say the CBF of Allen's, supremely comfortable, just sit on, squashy seat, nice soft suspension. As soon as you get up to speed, you get that cold wind blasting past you. And as I say, I'm getting on a bit now, so I feel that. My mate's Tracer, I love riding his Tracer, but you never feel sat in. What happens is you find you've nowhere to put your knees, or you don't know where to put your knees. With the VFR, your knees tuck in lovely there. They almost tuck in perfectly for me. I'm 1.75 metres, and my knees just suited perfectly. On Paul's Tracer, if I took my knees to the tank, I feel I'm knock-kneed, it's too narrow. But then if I sit normal, I find that there's a big gap between the tank and my knees, and my legs are flaying a bit. So it's all daft little things like that, or simple little things, that can turn a bike from being comfortable to uncomfortable when you're pushing on. So if comfort is very high on your list of priorities when purchasing a bike, the VFR perhaps ain't going to fall into that category. But if you want a bike that's comfortable when it's doing what it's designed to do, fast sports touring, then yes, this will be the bike for you, and it will be comfortable then. Thanks again for watching. Bye.